though battery life may be improved. Lenovo's venerable ThinkPad X1 Carbon, now in its 10th version, is a gorgeous 14-inch laptop in almost every other respect. Many consider Lenovo's ThinkPad line, with the X1 Carbon at the top, to be the gold standard for business computers. The ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 10 features a 14-inch screen, touch displays, 12th generation Intel Core processors, and a new 1080p webcam. It's not a cheap purchase, with prices starting at $1,319 in the UK, and going up to almost $2,500. Does it merit the cost? The ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 10 doesn't provide any surprises in terms of appearance. The ThinkPad X1 logo and the Lenovo brand are prominently displayed in the corners of the black chassis, respectively, letting you know if you've closed the lid, but not turned the device off. The carbon fiber weave finish on the lid of some models gives it a two-tone appearance. Like you would expect from ThinkPad, the build quality is excellent, and it complies with MIL STD 810H. The body is constructed of magnesium alloy, and the lid is made of carbon fiber. Although there is considerable give around the keyboard region, the corners of the chassis are strong, and I struggle to bend the lid in any way. It is easy to transport this little, lightweight laptop. Although I've seen thinner, Lenovo claims that the ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 10 benefits from its narrow screen bezels. The desktop footprint of the chassis is 315.6 by 222.5 mm, and it is 14.95 mm thick at the back, with a small taper toward the front edge. The clamshell's lid has a nice lip in the center that makes it easier to open with one hand, since the base stays put on the tabletop when the lid is open, due to the weight distribution between the lid and base. The starting weight is only 1.12 kilograms. The ideal screen size for portability and usefulness is 14 inches. Lenovo uses a 16 by 10 aspect ratio and provides many different display options. The WXGA 1920 by 1200 IPS touchscreen in my review device had a matte surface and a 400 nits brightness level. It was enjoyable to work on it. The brightest screen available is a WQXGA 3840 by 2400 IPS touch display. This unit has reduced blue light emissions that have been verified by iSafe, much as several other versions. Both touch support and the lowest resolution, 1920 by 1200, are available. With Lenovo's Privacy Guard technology, there is a 2.8K 2880 by 1800 OLED option and one WXGA IPS screen. The FN and D keys can be used to adjust how easily the screen can be read by others standing to the user's left, right, and back. On my review unit, Privacy Guard was there and operated effectively. With vertical grills flanking the keyboard, 4 speakers, 2 that project upwards and 2 that project downwards, push sound in the direction of the user. The top volume is quite loud, and while there is some distortion at this setting, it is tolerable due to the excellent audio quality. The distortion is gone at 3/4 of the maximum loudness. Rock listeners will enjoy the well-balanced bass and treble, the richness of the classical and chamber music, and the clarity of the spoken word. There is a webcam with a sliding privacy cover over the screen. Users can benefit from face authentication and presence detection, which locks down the laptop when the user walks away, and there are many camera setups available. This laptop is available with a 1080p camera in all variants. There is also a fingerprint reader built into the power button, which is located right above the home and end keyboard buttons, if you're not a fan of Face ID. As you can see from the picture, my review unit had a non-UK keyboard layout. Even so, I had no trouble typing in UK style, and thought the keyboard was incredibly light to the touch, with just the appropriate amount of bounce back. My touch typing was accompanied by the tiniest clicking. Fans of Lenovo's distinctive red trackpoint and its accompanying buttons above the trackpad will find these present, responsive, and simple to use. The Enter key is big and double height, the FN keys are sizable, and the buttons are located above the trackpad. In order to offer enough space between the rows of the keyboard, Lenovo sacrificed some wrist rest depth, and the trackpad itself feels a touch small by contemporary standards. This choice may have disappointed some people, perhaps those with larger hands, though I wasn't impacted by it. There are several other configurations available, including build your PC options and off-the-page machines with 12th generation Intel Core i5 and Core i7 processors. There's a RAM limit of 32 gigs, a 2TB storage limit, and an integrated Intel Iris Xe graphics GPU. Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.2, and NFC are present on all devices, while mobile broadband, including 4G LTE and 5G, is an add-on. My review unit specifications were 1920 by 1200 touchscreen with Privacy Guard, a 512 gigs SSD, a 512 gigs SSD with Intel Iris Xe graphics, a 12th generation Intel Core i7 to 1255U processor, 16 gigs of RAM, and 16 gigs of storage. It came pre-installed with Windows 10, a downgrade from the default Windows 11 Home Pro, and produced Geekbench 5 CPU scores of 1543 single-core and 6732 multi-core. a full-size HDMI port, a 3.5mm audio in-out socket, 2 USB-A ports, and 2 USB-C Thunderbolt 4 ports are available for wired connections. When the battery is charged, one of the USB-C ports is taken up. There is a nano SIM slot and configurations with mobile broadband as well. Probably the biggest problem with the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 10 is its battery life. The 57 Wh battery was completely charged before I started working, and I left the default settings in place. I could see the screen clearly, and this setup would be suitable for regular work. I use web programs to write, streamed audio and video, and performed a good deal of web browsing. The battery had depleted to 39% after 3 hours of use, indicating a total battery life of just under 5 hours. At least fast charging is supported, and the portable power brick is manageable in size. On one occasion, I remained working while charging while the battery was at 32%. After 15 minutes, it had increased to 48%, after 30 minutes, to 62%, and after 45 minutes, to 74%. The gorgeous 14-inch laptop is the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon 2022. It performs admirably on practically every front, thanks to a superb construction while being lightweight, a wide range of configuration possibilities, mobile broadband, a superb keyboard, fantastic speakers, and a 1080p webcam that is a requirement for modern functioning. The battery life is the biggest letdown, but some users may also find the wrist rest to be too shallow, and the trackpad to be on the small side. If you can deal with these problems, this expensive laptop is definitely worth the investment. What do you think of the new Lenovo laptop? Write your opinion in the comments below. Thanks for watching, have a nice day and see you soon.